The word iconic is overused. It's applied to lots of items that definitely aren't iconic. This one certainly is. This is the E-Type Jaguar. And for my money, it is the most beautiful car in the world. It was designed by Malcolm Sayer, who was the chief designer at Jaguar. But importantly, he came from the aircraft industry and he applied his aerodynamics from aeroplanes into this most beautiful and slippery shape that is the E-Type. Just look at the lines on this. It is recognizable around the world. The long sleek bonnet, the louvres, the lights that are all streamlined underneath the glass. It's a long bonnet, it's sensational. People love this car. Adrian Newey, the best Formula One designer in the world, has E-Types. He has an E-Type that he races. It's a sensational car. This Arrive Drive car is the 4.2 litre version with the Synchromesh gearbox, with the incredible suspension, the independent suspension that the E-Type has with the coil springs. It is an absolute masterpiece. The E-Type Jaguar was born out of the D-Type Jaguar, which won Le Mans so many times, starting with Hawthorne in 1955. And out of that, this car was developed. This particular engine in this Arrive Drive E-Type has had a lot of work done on it. It drives absolutely beautifully, which we'll find out about in a moment. But this car is absolutely ideal for a lot of tarmac events. For example, the Scottish Malts would be ideal for this car, and a lot of corporate events as well. It is an absolute joy to drive. It has inboard discs at the rear with the coil springs as well and the independent suspension. So it handles really, really well. And it's ideal to test it on a day like this when it's wet, just to show how sure-footed a Jaguar E-Type can be.
So it's time to drive the 1968 fixed head coupe E-Type from Arrive and Drive. This beautiful colour, this beautiful shape. And there's a lot of people would love to be in this seat. Oh, there you go. Listen to that. The big straight six, the XK engine, which has been designed over sort of many, many years and developed. But that's the fantastic rumble that you get from the E-Type. You've got this wonderful wood-rimmed motor-liter wheel in the Arrive and Drive car. 4-speed Synchromesh box, unlike the previous 3.8, which had the old crash box or moss box as we used to call it. Okay, truck's gone. Listen to that fantastic noise. It's just such a beautiful sound. That is Jaguar, that is E-Type, and it's so graceful and effortless, smooth, lovely gear change on the car. And even on these wet roads, and you brake hard like that with all discs all the way round and coil spring suspension, inboard discs at the rear as well. Even if you go through a sharp bend like that, it feels fantastic. What is amazing though is you look at the long bonnet ahead of you. You can imagine being on the Scottish Malts in this, or even on the classic marathon. Maybe you could take an E-Type on that, but predominantly tarmac events, what you would want to hire the Jaguar E-Type for. And the E-Type, when it came out in 1961, the prototype was the first one, and they built two, one of which was driven over to the Geneva Motor Show, 1961. And it was the star of the show. The press all clamoured around it, and they wanted test drives, and they only had one car. So they called for Norman Jewis, who was the test driver of Jaguar at the time, to bring out a second car, and he literally drove through the night across France, into Switzerland and Geneva, and that was the start of the huge story, because price-wise and performance-wise, an absolute supercar of its era. Was probably the third of the price or an eighth of the price of any Ferrari, which was break it. I've just stood it on its nose and it is absolutely perfect. Now the synchromesh blocks just gently into reverse. And you can see here, this is the classic Jaguar dashboard. Uncluttered, functional, and yet as balanced as the good looks of this fantastic car. And it goes on and on and on from 1961 all the way through the 3 versions, the XKE, produced in the United States of America. Bob Tullius raced and won something like 6 championships in the XKE, or the Jaguar E-Type, with Team 44 as we know it. And today it is one of the cars that really does so well at Goodwood Revival, for example, and in historic racing all around Europe, whether it's at Spa in the 6 hours, whether it's the TT at the Revival. They've won so many races still today. They're an absolute favourite of the racers. See, did do the Monte Carlo Rally in standard form and had some successful finishes as well. To take the Jaguar E-Type, the 4.2, like our arrived drive car here on the tarmac rally, would be an absolute thrill. I'm just loving driving it, and I have been allowed by the company to take this car a couple of times to people. And one of the things I noticed in summary was every time I stopped to fill up at a petrol station, 2 or 3 people would stop you. The last time I got stopped was a truck driver. He got out of his cab, he came over and said, "Sir, that is the most beautiful piece of engineering I have ever seen. The E-Type, fantastic," he said, and off he went. That summed it up for me. What a car.
Well, despite the inclement weather, it's just perfect time to test the E-Type and see how well it handles. The braking, the steering, it was effortless. The power of this beautiful, beautiful car. I mean, it truly is a work of art, and certainly one which I would love to hire, and certainly one which I would like to take on a Hero ERA rally, a tarmac event. So something like the Scottish Malts will be perfect for this car. Just a piece of motoring history, and as I said, a piece of art. So really just get behind the wheel, enjoy it, and enjoy a Hero ERA rally.